Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu. Pakhair ragale. Ni hao. Chune shumme. Washmale. Ohaya guzaimus. Guten Morgen. Hola. Bonjour. Privyet. Kaifa hal. Hale shama chatore. Ahlan wasalan. Marhaba. Khuya morkhe. Buna. And a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PT World and are watching World this morning alongside the very amazing, the very talented Shiza Hashmi and Shazad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you today?
I'm great, alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm doing perfect. The weather outside looks like that as if it's going to rain in a few moments, as I guess. But
Well, we
other than
suppose
that,
it
it
is.
makes me feel happy when it's not really sunny, it's not humid, it's not hot.
It's cloudy,
Islamabad,
yes.
ladies and gentlemen, is cloudy and it's beautiful and it's Monday.
It's always
I
beautiful.
hope you're not waiting for Friday now.
I am always waiting for Friday. But how was your weekend? Well, before you answer, I
Yeah,
think
okay.
you spent your time with your family.
Yes.
You probably watched a movie and you went to gym.
I watched 3 movies in
Okay.
one day, ladies and gentlemen, and I
Okay.
think that was great. I'm hooked to Netflix whenever I'm back home
Oh,
as well.
same.
All these newer seasons which are coming out. But other than that, let's get started with the day, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Today we've got a very important topic to discuss.
Yes.
But before we do that, I think even in the previous week, what we have done is that we have talked a lot about kids,
Yes.
newly born kids too as well. And now today, whatever we're going to talk about will be after these top stories. Let's check out what's
Take a
happening
look.
all around the globe. Good morning.
The Parliamentary Committee of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf meets in Islamabad today. The committee to discuss matters related to government formation and other issues as well.
Well, I'm sorry for saying that we're going to check that what's happening all around the globe, but today the news is all within Pakistan or from within Pakistan. Independent candidates who got elected in general elections have 3 days to join any political party. Party positions will become clear on 7th of August. Notification to all successful candidates will be issued on 9th of August. All right,
These
so I
were-
guess that, for all the political parties, it's about time that, you decide whether which candidate is going to what position, I think. And, all the Pakistanis out there are very anxious as well
Yes,
as to what the
13
government will be formed. Yeah.
13 independent candidates actually won seats in National Assembly, and 10 of them have already joined PTI.
Wow. So are you in favor of PTI, or am I allowed to ask about your political
Of
view?
course you can. I mean, I think we'll talk about this later. But yes, before
She
we...
wants to be on the safe side.
Of course,
yeah,
yes.
It's all right. Go
Before
ahead.
we move on to what the show is about, just I think a few days back, last week, you were talking about how you left university because you wanted to pursue what you
Yes.
liked exactly.
Yes.
Were your parents supportive in that though? Because what I believe in, few years back or even in my time, the parents were only open to the idea of being a doctor or being an engineer or probably being a lawyer.
Well, I think first things first, my parents already knew what I was capable of.
Okay.
They always knew that, he's not going to make a good engineer or a doctor.
Okay.
So they let me do what I was always very keen and very interested to do. But at the same time, since you asked about my support system, I'm not going to say that the support wasn't really very amazing, because what happened was that, when I told my family that I have to work for television and I'll have to move to Karachi, so there was a dispute in between my mother and my father, and I think it plays a very important role as well.
Okay.
So all of this time when I was in Karachi, hopefully everything turned out to be very great for me, ladies and gentlemen. But other than that, it was just a blind strike, because I would never know. Because what you think is that, for example, if you're going to be on television, anybody will think that, overnight you will be a star.
Exactly, it's going to be fancy and
Yeah.
everything. It's
and
not.
that's not how it is. Even if you see Fawad Khan, ladies and gentlemen, today he joined Entity Paradigm back in 2002 when it was Battle of the Bands.
Yes.
Imagine, he was a singer for all of this time. He was a band member. He came out with the first ever acting. Well, it wasn't really the first one, because there were others being produced too as well. But it took him 36 years to be where he is today. So this is what we need to know. We need to trust our own capacities, capabilities, and we need to work with our intuition.
Because it's not a destination, it's a journey. It keeps going on. You keep, unlearning and learning. And I think that's the whole process.
And exactly this is what we are talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to talk about kids, especially when particularly they are in school, or probably when they are in A levels or O levels or higher secondary. What they need to do is that they really need to see their career counselors. Their teachers need to tell them what will be beneficial for you, and their parents need to have a good support system too as well. This is what we are discussing.
And we're also discussing how maybe in some cases are there facilities for the students
Yes.
where the teachers can, speak to them about what their interests are or what they really want to do in the future. Well, focus that I'm not saying what they want to be in the future. So
Yeah.
this is a misconception. It's great that I was talking to somebody, a career counselor last week, a friend of mine, and she explained it so beautifully. She said every time we meet a kid, we ask them what you want to be in the future. You can can be yourself. You don't have to be someone in the future. The right thing is to ask what you want to do in the future. In that way, the child is more informed about what the responsibilities he's going to inherit.
Yes,
I mean, if
exactly.
you say you want to be a teacher, you just know you want to be a teacher. But what you want to do, then you will be inquisitive about it. You'll know that maybe you
Exactly.
want to teach students, maybe you want to teach girls.
Yeah.
I think that's the right
And you
thing.
know, at the same time, the only reason why I'm smiling is that, you know, whenever anybody used to ask me this question, whether what do you want to be when you grow up, you know, the only answer I had was a father. You know, that's what I wanted to be. And
But that's cute as well.
I'm there on my destiny, you know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm
You've
enjoying,
achieved it.
but I've got newer goals because life does not stop. So to discuss all of this, you know, on my right-hand side, we have been joined by somebody who's a career counselor. He's a motivational speaker himself, ladies and gentlemen. He's none other than Mr. Habibullah. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam. How are you? I'm all
Thank
good.
you very much. Very smiley early in the morning. Alongside Mr. Habibullah, we have been joined by somebody who's an O-level student, and she'll actually tell us better what goes around in her head and what she wants to be and what her parents does not want her to be.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's none other than Miss Marukh Riaz Sumro. Hello, how are you? Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum assalam. Thank you very much for joining us. And alongside Marukh Riaz Sumro, we have been joined by somebody who's an ex-assistant professor at Islamabad College for Girls F6 Islamabad. She's a PhD in physical chemistry, University of KL, Germany. She's none other than Dr. Saira Riaz. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Assalamualaikum. I'm fine. How are you?
Absolutely perfect. Thank you very much for joining us. And last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, we've been joined by an A-level student too as well. She's none other than Miss Mariam Yaqub. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Assalamualaikum. I'm good.
Can
How
you
are
hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can.
All right, let's get the conversation started now.
Yes.
So, Habib Saab, what are the basic fundamentals of career counseling? Let's start from here.
Actually, there are some phases when it comes to, I guess, every career counselor needs to understand that. Number one is, I mean, if you are having a kid and he needs your counseling, you need to have the awareness phase.
Okay.
Number one phase, you need to make him aware of this is a, you can say, working society. You need to work in society in order to sustain yourself in the society. And the second phase is obviously it's orientation phase.
What if, you know, there's a kid who was actually born with a golden spoon? Why would you even tell him that, you know, you need to work in order to sustain?
Even if you're born with a golden spoon, you have to eat by yourself. Nobody's going to give you that.
Well, you don't know. You know, people are giving surprises these days, so we need to be sure about that. But that was on a lighter note. Please continue.
Yeah, it's okay. So the second phase is orientation phase. So after the awareness, let's say you aware the child, these are the fields, these are the things that you need to do in society. After that, you give him an orientation that how you're going to reach this destination, how you're going to follow this path. After the orientation, there is another, you can say, a phase that is exploration phase.
Okay.
After the orientation, you need to provide him certain environment. You need to teach him how to explore about certain stuff, about certain fields. And then after the exploration, then I'm going to also add over here, awareness, it happens from kindergarten to 6th grade.
Okay.
And then the orientation phase, it goes to 6th to 7th grade. And then the exploration phase is from 7th to 8th grade.
Okay.
Sorry, from 7th to 10th grade.
But it can vary, right?
Yeah, it can vary also. It can vary according to the, I mean, maybe regions or something like that, you know, according to the different educational systems.
Okay.
So, and the most important part is, you can say, decision-making power. Okay. That's the most important part. Career counselors, they must teach kids, they must teach the students in order to prepare them how to decide for themselves,
Right.
how to decide the right career for themselves.
Well, amazing. But before we move on to the students themselves, Dr. Saiba, what I want to ask you is, at what point of time in any student's life do you think a career counselor needs to step in?
At age of 13,
Okay.
they need some kind of career counseling.
Okay.
They should know what they have to do.
So 13 will actually bring us back to 7th or 8th grade,
7th
right?
or 8th class. Especially
Yeah.
at the 8th class, they should know what they have to do. Either
Okay.
they have interest in sciences or in social sciences.
Yeah.
And in this, the social media and media also play important role.
Okay,
As long as the parents involved.
Okay, and this is why, you know, because ladies and gentlemen, we are very glad that Dr. Saira actually you know, got her daughter to come with her as well. You know, so she's accompanying her, she's on the show. So, Marukh, you know, what I'm going to ask you is, how many times have your mother conveyed you that, you know, okay, bete, either you have to be a doctor or an engineer and nothing beyond that and nothing besides that?
No, I don't think like my mom forces me to do anything. I think she
Is it
like.
your father?
No,
Oh,
not
okay.
none of them actually. They like want the best for me, so I guess like they support what I want to do and what I like enjoy and
Okay.
what I'm best at.
So do you know what you want to do in the future?
Yeah, I do.
And at what point in time did you actually discover that?
Quite recently, I mean, I was really indecisive before, but like now I've found what I really like, and I really do enjoy it.
And did you discuss it? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead,
Did you
go ahead.
discuss it with your parents?
Yeah, I told them what
And
I
they were
wanted to do.
supportive?
Yes.
Okay, that's great.
So what do you want to do? Tell us too as well.
I want to become an attorney.
Okay. And why so?
Oh.
'Cause
What
they-
are your goals? Like, why do you want to be one?
Because like they fight for justice and they remove like injustice from a society. Yeah. That's,
Okay, but that's great. She feels strongly about something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but I need to dig in more as well. You know, what kind of injustices do you see from your eye? Because, you know, we have grown up while we
Yeah.
were in college schools, we
Yes.
used to think about different injustices. So just want to check upon the trends, whether the injustices are the same or not. Go ahead.
Well, when, for example, when cases occur, people get like when they fight in, for example, in court, they they win for wrong reasons, or like they win not because they are right, but because they are more powerful.
Right, right.
Well,
Makes
that's not true. Oh, okay, that's debatable.
Like,
We'll come back to
sometimes it
that,
is
but this is
true.
not our topic today.
Yes.
So, Mariam, what about you? What do you want to do in life?
And you especially are at that point in time where I'm not pressurizing you, but I do feel like you must know
where
what you
I'm
want to
actually
do.
I'm supposed to have decided by
Right.
now. So I'm going for chemical engineering.
Okay, wow.
Which is, I mean, it's not like I decided recently, but I've always been building things. When I was 5, I used to build Lego. Then at 8, I started puzzles. So it's always been like a definite goal for me.
Wow, and I'm sorry to say that on air, ladies and gentlemen, but you know, by the end of my A levels, I didn't even knew that I have to go to a university. It was somebody
didn't
else who
know?
told me that, you know, to pursue your career, what you need to do is you need to study more. I was like, what do I need to study? They're like, you need to go to the university. So this is how blank I was. But I guess, you know, Allah has blessed me with everything, alhamdulillah. But all it takes is severe dedication, motivation, a lot of hard work, because I have to, you know, leave my university for a
Yeah.
while, go there, come back
Come
again
back,
after a year,
right.
do it. And even now I get nightmares as if my degree is not completed.
Oh.
And when I wake up, I'm like, oh, thank God, man, that was really...
You know, when you said that you didn't know what you wanted to be,
Yeah.
you know, what you wanted to study in the future, that's
Exactly.
true as well for me. Because to be
because
honest,
I never wanted to study.
No, I did want to study, but I was
Yeah.
not sure. I only had 2 basic options
Okay.
because I was doing FSC, that is the Pakistani A levels,
yeah.
right? So you basically just have 2 options, 2 clear options. You're either doing pre-engineering or you're either doing pre-medical.
Or computer sciences.
Or computer, yeah, but I was never good with computers. So I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to be an engineer. Do I want that name tag with my name?
Yeah.
I don't. So I'm thinking, I like biology more than maths. So I did pre-medical.
So imagine, you know, if you were an engineer, how would people call you?
Or if I were
Engineer
a doctor.
Miss Shiza Hashmi or Shiza Hashmi engineer? Or what kind of engineer? Whether was it chemical
I
engineer,
have
electrical
no idea. I
engineer?
was not into it.
Okay, but you saved yourself. You went into
Thank God,
journalism.
yes.
You're doing a great job now. But now coming back to where we really need to disseminate information to people out there, that how do they actually need to be in conversation with their kids to make them understand what they want for them? Because even parents want something better for their kids. So how do we do that?
I guess the most important part, the parents that need to understand that there are some responsibilities that depends only on them.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the parents, when their kids is using abusive language or when he is, you can say, miscommunicating,
Yeah.
they claim that, oh, this is what your school taught you, you know. But according to science or according to study, it shows that language development is the responsibility of parents. Physical development is the responsibility of parents.
Okay.
And then it comes to social development, it's the responsibility of parents. I mean, the very first step, it is being taken by the parents.
Okay.
So the parents, they need to understand that instead of, you can say, putting all that responsibility to the school systems or to the educational systems. Now, coming back to the educational systems, I guess educational systems, even if in Pakistan or around the globe, we can say that it is not their responsibility to provide ethics. I mean, it is not their core responsibility.
Whose?
Educational systems.
Okay.
It is not their core responsibilities. I mean,
I think
if they are
education
doing
is all
that,
about ethics.
no,
Morals,
you're not getting my
values.
point. You're not getting my point.
Okay.
It is not their core responsibility.
Okay.
So if you're talking about core responsibility, I mean, it's not their priority.
Okay, answer this. Do you think that, you know, any of the person who never went to a school or a college or a university will be more ethical than any other person whom we call educated?
I guess ethics, they relate the environment the person stays in.
Okay.
It does not have anything to do with educational system or educational environment, because I guess education is all about how a human understands things.
Okay, I'm
When
sorry. I
parents-
know I seriously don't want to do that, but why do you think that there are uniforms in the schools. It's because of the fact that they want to teach us that every student is equal, and I think that's a part of being ethical too as well. So we'll move on. We'll move on to Dr. Saiba over here. So Dr. Saiba, at what stage did you started counseling your daughter too as well? This is something which is very
From the
important.
start of the day.
All right.
Because I'm the mother of 2 daughters, so
Yeah.
I have to.
But you're a
tell
PhD
them
yourself,
yeah.
so what I want to do is I want to have a comparison in between a parent who's a PhD who's trying to counsel their kids, and then a parent who might not have had an opportunity to go to the university. So what differences will we see in the child's rearing or in the upbringing?
Parents are very important in life of the kids, and they can groom their child.
Exactly.
And there is a lot
Yes,
of
of
difference
course.
between the educated parents and the
Yes.
and the other parents. So they can guide at every and each step.
So when she told you that she wants to be an attorney,
Yeah.
what did you say?
As a Eastern parents, I just shocked because I
right.
want to be a doctor, my
Yeah.
daughter. But then I look my daughter that what she has.
Yeah.
She has a potential of science or not. So then I saw her potential. So I started to know that
So
she
now-
can do something
Yeah.
other than the science.
So now, as a
then-
parent, what are you trying to do for her? Are you trying to get teachers or probably lawyers on board as well, where they can come, teach her for a while and then go back, so that she would actually be on path, and it'll make it easier for her after A levels if you choose
Yes,
to do that.
of course. As an educated parent, I know how to deal my kid to groom her. So I will look for the teachers. I can now there are a lot of things on the media and on the internet, so I can guide her. And now they know better than us that they can they can cope with the
That's good.
information.
So Maro, you tell us, how was it when you told your mom that I'm going to be an attorney?
Was she very accepting of the
Yeah.
idea?
At first, Esther told you that she was a little shocked because obviously in the Eastern, it's always like engineer or doctor, as
Exactly.
you told us. But I guess later on, she did accept that I could be good at that. I could be successful. So then she supported my idea and then helped me.
No,
And
but what I want to know is, I'm sorry that I'm peeking my nose in, but whether you really had to actually beg her, them,
No,
Mom,
no.
please, man, let me do that, and why won't you let me do that? Because over here, what I've seen is, and I think this is one thing which we need to discuss too as well, that for women, what happens is that they want them to be doctors because they think that, then good rishtas will come in too as well.
That's true,
I think
that's
this is
true.
something which we need to be considered. How do you
Stigma.
think that we can open up the mindsets of the people who are out there, that there are so many other possibilities, for example, chemical engineer?
Yeah.
So was it difficult for you to change your decision from making her to doctor to a lawyer?
At the start, it was difficult for me, but now I can understand that there are a lot of
Other professions.
professions
Yes. Yeah.
for the students that they can cope with, especially for the girl. And I have spent my most of the time in Germany, so I have seen how the girls are doing and how the other students are doing. So now I am interested that she can do other than the sciences or other than the doctor or engineer.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great that you're accepting to the
Yeah.
idea. Now, coming back to you, since she, she also already mentioned about internet. Do you feel like internet played a great role in you making a decision for your future?
Me, not really. I was more
I mean, were you more
hands-on.
informed because of it?
Informed, definitely.
Yeah.
Kyunki, I mean, you find out what university offers, what kind of course, what you should. I mean, the people who have already picked a major, such
Yeah.
as you're thinking of picking, what career choices are open to them, etc., etc.
Okay.
So-
Okay. So, but I have to come back to Doctor. It's a very different question, probably not very much related to the topic that we're discussing. But most of the time, some parents, of course, due to goodwill, send their children to boarding schools because they want a better future. That's what they believe. That's what their intention is. But separation anxiety is a thing.
Yeah.
Does that affect the studies?
Homesickness, I guess.
Yeah, that as well. But
homesickness is
separation
very
anxiety as
important,
well.
and it affects the studies of the students. But it depends upon the different types of the students, that either they can affect or how their psychology works for them.
So my question being, so when parents are sending them, the intention is that they get a better future.
Better future.
But because of all the anxiety and everything, do you think they're actually moving towards a better future?
Maybe it depends upon in which environment they are living, or in which school, or in which boarding they are going. If it is good, I think student can cope with that environment, and they can overcome their homesickness.
Okay.
And with the support of the parents and obviously with the teacher, they can do better.
So this is not a bad idea at all.
No, I don't think so. If boarding is good.
Okay.
All right, yeah, that's cool. So let's talk a few areas out as well. So now, what I want you to tell us is that what do you think that in near future, which fields will be more likable by the people who are actually growing up or the future generations? Because we have seen a lot of growth in the IT sector as well, and you know there are a lot of people coming in, there are a lot of people investing in the applications and the software is being developed. Other than information technology, what other fields do you think will be beneficial for the future generations?
I guess for future generation, one of the peak field that is being, you can say, that is very fast is being an entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Entrepreneurs, and then the other one, obviously, you're talking about IT. In IT, freelancers. If you check out the ratio of freelancers in IT field, it's more than that of, you can say, the people that they are producing apps, or they're producing websites, or they're in the developmental sector of IT. If we talk about future fields, I mean, besides being an entrepreneur, there's anthropology, and then there is being an interior designer, and there's this fashion designer, and then there is hotel management. These are the future fields. They are going to be really fruitful for the kids and fruitful for obviously for the next generation. Why actually how it changed?
Before you
If we-
explain, what about, you know, for example, you know, we can even talk about journalism too as well, because we see that, you know, the television or the media industry, the print media is actually growing every day as well. And then other than that, you know, since you were talking about freelancers, I think there's more number of freelancers now than more than hip hop singers too as well.
Exactly.
So what we need to do is that we need to convey them in a way where they can actually find jobs as soon as they get done with studying.
There are 3 to 4 online websites also. There's 99design.com. It's a website for all the graphics designers.
Okay.
They can find the clients from all around the globe. And then there's another Upwork.com.
Yeah.
And then there's another website also. I mean, there are 3 to 4 websites
There's Fiverr
where,
and everything.
where people are actually connected globally. And then LinkedIn is also one of the platforms where people are actually using that platform to find clients, and they are doing freelancing through that. So coming back to that point, I mean, for the generations, if we go back 10 years, the job market, there were no jobs, I mean, available, the jobs that are available today. Likewise, after 10 years or after 5 years, there would be no jobs available. The ones there today, there won't be any job, any more jobs for current fields. After, I mean, let's say back in 2003 or 2005, learning Microsoft Office was a huge thing. You know, it was gigantic, you can say, skill. But nowadays, I mean, kids, they are learning that skill when they're maybe 7 or 8 years
It's
old.
very
at their
basic
home.
now,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Right,
very
right.
basic
Makes
now.
sense.
And I remember that back in 2003 or 5, I mean, there were institutions, they were charging very high fee to teach just Microsoft Office.
Oh, yes.
So that particular course or that particular field has been, you can say, under the line now. Now we have to prepare our kids. We have to prepare our next generation for the future. And like I told you, entrepreneur is one of the best, you can say, things. Even freelancers, if they have entrepreneurial thought, then and only then they can be freelancers.
Right.
All right. Exactly, and I think this thought process needs to be instilled within the kids too as well. But Shiza, you know what is very surprising and amazing is that these future generations are always full of surprises. You know, they're so full of knowledge, they're so well prepared, and they do their own research. So for a minute, what we're going to do is we're going to tell Mariam to tell all the world out there that which fields to pick up for, you know, which are the fields where you can actually score well, you can be well in your life too as well. And the same I want Mariam to do as well. So who
But
wants
there's
to
no
do it
right or
first?
wrong. It's totally your perspective.
So whatever you want to say, we want to know how the kids feel, you know, what are their thought processes.
Yes.
So go ahead, your time starts now.
Obviously, there's the basic choice of doctor, engineer. They can be, and then now, since you said it, the fields are expanding. Fashion designer, IT. Obviously, as I want to become lawyer, attorney, and then obviously you can there's further divisions in doctor and stuff. So you can have a great variety to choose. Yeah.
So
That's
these
it.
are some of the fields that you explored on your journey of choosing your future.
I at first wanted to become an author.
Okay,
It
great.
was, yeah.
But you can do that,
Obviously.
still.
Yeah, I can still do that, but then I was like, no, because I mean, I might not be great at it, but then I was like, attorney is great. I will be very good at it, and it's I will enjoy it.
And
But
then
if
you can
author
still
is
be an
not-
author too as
That's
well.
Yeah,
right,
if it's
that's
not
right.
your profession, it can be your hobby.
Exactly. You can still write on the side.
Right,
Amazing
that's
that
great.
is.
That's
Mariam,
great.
your time starts now.
I'd say till a few years ago that's true what Maruk said. There were just the 2 or 3 options: doctor, engineer, lawyer. But now the opportunities are actually endless.
For example, having a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or, you know, being a star on Instagram. Imagine that, you know, Kylie is actually getting paid for one post $1 million. Imagine no matter how hard you study, all you have to do is, you know, be good with your looks, or probably hit the gym very hard, and you'll get paid quite a lot. So,
Or
you know,
just
fields
belong
are
to their
changing. Imagine that, okay, Kylie is a star, you know, the entire family is a star, that's different. But other than that, if you go up to your parents and tell them that, you know, I'm going to be an Instagram model, do whatever you want to do, they'll be like, chappal kidhar hai meri?" So
but
that's how
that's
it
true.
is.
That's
So
true.
I
but-
can give you an example
Yeah.
actually. So I am going for chemical engineering, but yesterday my dad and I were exploring a new option because I love horses. So I saw this major called equine sciences.
Okay.
So we were discussing the fact that if
What
I
is it
become,
about?
It's basically a horse science.
Okay.
Horse breeding, like caring for horses,
But
training
there's a whole
them.
course about it. Wow.
Yeah, there is
So
actually
we
a
can
whole
talk about
I
that
didn't know.
later, because, you know, I love horses too as well. And I'm a good
sure.
rider.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So-
but move on. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I was saying after that I could like basically start a riding school in Islamabad, which there are just like 2 or 3 out there. So
Yeah.
I mean, going in that direction, there's
Yeah.
a whole nother set of possibilities.
Exactly, but imagine that, you know, in Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want everybody to imagine.
Yeah.
A daughter and a father sitting together talking about having their own stables and then having a riding club. And
How cool is
imagine
that?
Mariam all around the horses too as well. Oh man, I'm too tired. I don't know what to do right now. But even chemical engineering, I think you have to be on site too as well, you know, and the
Yes,
weathers
exactly.
are very
It's very
harsh.
hands-on.
So are you sure about that? The choice you have made?
you ready
am
for the
pretty
field
sure.
work?
I mean, as a kid, I used to love mixing stuff together.
Yeah.
I love being in labs. I mean, till OA levels, they don't really show you the inside of a lab in
Right,
primary
right.
school.
Okay.
So I got there. I was like, it's very. I mean, it's an amazing concept.
So you like
being there.
chemistry, right?
I love
So can we
chemistry,
ask
yeah.
about any formula from chemistry or something of that sort?
As in,
Okay, let's not do it. You know, she's not prepared for that, ladies and
We'll
gentlemen.
do it off air.
We'll do it off air, but for everybody who's tuned in, ladies and gentlemen, we need to go for a short break. Don't go
Yes.
anywhere. A few of the guests will stay back, and we have got more guests to fill in as well.
Yeah.
We'll ask them what do they want to do and how to actually career counsel your kids. Good morning.
Stay tuned.
Of moonless nights. When handed a night bereft of its glittering pendant, I decided to grow my own moon.
Welcome back to World This Morning. Hope you're having a great day. It is a beautiful day outside. If you
Indeed.
go open your windows and you watch it, it is. Well, we are having a good start
Conversation,
of the day, actually, because we're talking about career counseling, and we have two different perspectives on our show today. We are talking to students, their teachers as well, the parents as well. So we are basically discovering all the dimension that goes into career counseling and what the decision of actually choosing what you want to be in the future.
And to further shed light upon the topic, ladies and gentlemen, we've been joined by some more amazing guests as well. On my right-hand side, we've been joined by career counselor and an educationist herself. You know, she never wanted to be an educationist, but she's one now, and she's one hell of a career counselor too as well. She's none other than Miss Azra Tahir. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum. Thank you very much for joining us. And alongside Miss Azra Tahir, we've got a young, amazing talented boy over here in the studios who picked up on a very different career line.
Yeah.
We will definitely talk about that, but he's none other than Mr. Talha Sharjeel. Hello, assalamu alaikum, and he's a student. How are you?
Salam, I'm fine.
Thank you very much for joining us. So, Ms. Azra, we want to get your views on career counseling for kids, when to get it started, how to get it started, and then how do you convince your kid for his or her betterment?
Actually, I was just watching your program when I was sitting backstage.
Okay.
So I believe that the awareness has reached to that level that the parents and the students, now they are fully aware that it's not going to be any random decision for their career. That stage has been reached. That's why the career counseling has become a very important profession, right? And we have trained professionals working in this field who guides the parents, because the parents also needs to be guided equally, as we think that we are here to guide the students as per their subject combinations or how those subject combinations can help them out in their future careers or for their university education. But I think it is important to counsel the parents as well, because they are equally take the responsibility of that.
Right.
They are the major decision maker up till now in our society.
Yes, of
But I believe the time has reached when our parents should start thinking on these lines, that their role is just to give unconditional love and support to the
of
child.
course.
They have the right, I would say, they have the right to give the proper advice as per their experience that they have learned throughout their life. But they should not be that much control freak, and they should not start taking the decisions on their children's behalf.
Okay.
Give them the authority to take their decision.
Right.
Raise your child to be an independent thinker and give him that much confidence that he should be a good decision maker.
Right. Right. Okay. Makes
Give
sense.
them the appropriate opportunities. And because in our society, we feel if a child says, mostly the children, the boys, they get inspired by their father's profession.
Right.
And whenever you ask a boy that what do you want to be, most of the time they say, I want to be, if the father is a doctor or a soldier or whatever it is, and we think, and we feel very happy, and we feel the father would also take a lot
proud.
of pride.
Exactly,
Right.
yes.
But I feel it's a very wrong approach.
Okay.
It means that your child,
Is not exposed to other ideas.
exactly, he
Okay.
didn't have that much exposure, interaction with a lot of other people, with a lot of other professions, and that's why he is living in just a small cocoon, because child is like just a sponge. He's absorbing everything unknowingly. Like,
But Ms. Azra, isn't that okay? Because the first institution, the first teacher for a child is their parents, is a mother or a father.
yes, yes.
So isn't it okay if they're, inspired by the father?
it's very much okay, but if you think that the child has the God-gifted talent and intelligence, if a father is a doctor and he wants to be, fine, there is no
Okay, no, I'm
difference.
going to give you a situation. So, for example, since you were talking about boys, for example, if you have a working mother and you have daughters too, you're blessed with them. Do you think that the daughters will feel the same too as well, that, whatever our mother is doing, we need to do the same?
Definitely.
Okay, and now I want you to stop over here. So, Dr. Saira over here, what you need to do is you need to tell us how your daughters never told you that, we do not want to be teachers because you were a teacher and we want to opt for a different field. Was it because you gave them more choices, or they had, their exposures were very open, or you kept on telling them this is what you need to do or this is what you don't need to do?
In their childhood, they are inspired of me that, oh, our mom is a teacher, so we can also be a teacher.
Okay.
But as they groom and they don't get some knowledge from surroundings, from the environment, and they also visited Germany, so they know there are a lot of other things other than the teaching, and they also know that what teachers should do.
Exactly.
So they have to take some responsibility. So then they have other options that they can do better than the teacher.
So I think Ms.
they
Azra is very correct as well. So thank you very much for,
Okay, but-
for that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have to move to Talha.
Yeah.
So Talha,
But before you move on to Talha, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't really fair enough of us to actually introduce Talha like that, but
that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, but there was a reason why we actually kept it with us.
We want him
so
to
ladies and
introduce
gentlemen,
himself.
Talha over here is a high achiever. He completed whole his in just 9 months. He learned all the Quran by heart in 9 months from Siddiq Public School. Got first position in district hifz competition. Then selected for all Pakistan hifz competition. Selected for representation of Pakistan in Dubai International Holy Quran Award as well. So Talha, and I'm not going to call this a field. I think this is a passion too as well, to hifz Quran and then to keep on revising it
Yes.
and to be in competitions. But you would have done that for your entire life. Why are you trying to change your field now?
Actually, you know, both the fields are necessary. Deen and dunya both are necessary.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why to eradicate this thing from people's mind that we should go only in one field. Like people do hifz and go in that field, in hifz teaching and in all that. I want to eradicate that. I wanted to eradicate that thing, and that is why I completed my hifz, and after that I continued my studies.
Okay.
And that
So
is
coming
that
back
was
to the
only-
very basic question, were your parents okay with the idea of you changing your field?
Yes, they were okay.
Okay, they were
I think
supportive?
my parents are the best.
Okay, I think this is a question to be asked from you, and that is, that was it your choice to learn or the Holy Quran
Quran.
by heart, or was it your parents who sent you to madrasa that this is what you need to do? Did you have a choice back then?
It was my passion to do hifz,
Okay,
and
that's great
secondly,
then.
it was the support from my family.
Okay,
And
that's
my
great.
parents especially.
Since now we have got 3 career counselors over here on the show, so I'm going to ask you a question. What I believe in life is that nowadays it's not about specialization, it's about being jack of all trades. For example, even if I'm an anchor person, I sell a lot of property, sell a lot of cars, I do
You sing.
I do a lot of other things. And I think that, you know, to survive in a country like Pakistan, this is what you need to do. You need to be full of talent, and you know, and it needs to be in different dimensions too as well. Do you think that's correct, or we need to special? Because I'm not a doctor. You know, I did my master's in business administration, you know, marketing was my majors, and I think that's what I can do the best. So whatever
But
I
you
get
kept
at my hand.
exploring your talents and
Yes.
potential.
Yeah, go ahead.
You are 110% right, and I totally agree with you, because like I'm an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
and I'm a counselor,
Yeah.
and I'm an educationist also. So I'm doing a lot of things also by
Yes.
myself. Actually, you need, if you are if you are a specialist, but you need to have awareness, you need to have information about rest of the fields.
Right.
Let's say if you are unfortunately you got failed in your profession or in your specialization, so you would have some options,
Yeah.
or you would have some exposure.
कि कुछ भी कर लेगा यार.
Yeah, that you could go for something else.
Yeah.
You could do something else in life. I've seen many. I know a girl named Madiha Mohsen. She's a host also. She has done MBA.
Yeah.
And she's a host. She's a journalist now.
Yeah.
So you see, things change according to the requirement of the time, according to the requirement of the moment.
Yeah.
And most of the times we think that, you know, things don't always go according to the plans.
Right.
Things don't always go according to them, and most of the time they don't go. Okay, there are a lot of turns, there are a lot of, you can say, tones on your way. But don't give up.
Okay.
I mean, most of the times it happens if you wanted to be a doctor and you spend 5 years for MBBS and then 2 years more for specialization, you couldn't become a successful doctor. But you still keep on searching on that. You still keep on finding yourself in order to become that who you want to be. And like in the very start, you said that it's not who you want to be.
Yeah.
It's what you want to do
Right.
as who you are.
We truly get your point, and this is why I'm going to mention somebody from across the border, ladies and gentlemen. I think everybody knows about Amitabh Bachchan. And he said, when things never worked for me was the time when I actually learned, when I actually got out of my bubble, when I actually came out of my comfort zone. And that's the time which made me who I am today.
That's
as well.
so true, though.
Yeah, but what's your take on this one?
Yes, I completely agree with that, and I would like to share that why the career counseling has become such an important part of the education right now is that we are preparing these children for the future job market, right? And the job market is changing at such a rapid pace. Do you think just 5 years back, anybody could imagine that we are going to have the social media manager, the digital
Right,
officers, the digital marketeers,
Yeah.
or the ethical hackers? No. So there is such a rapid, you see, change in the job market, and the students who are right now in the school, do you think that once they end up after their education and once they will hit the job market, or the job market is going to hit them, right? So they would be appropriately prepared for that, right? That's why, that is the reason I agree with you that we have to prepare a child as a holistic personality.
Right.
These academics, career counselors, doesn't mean that they would tell you a taweez, they will give you a taweez of success.
That
Okay,
is certainly going to
yes,
work, huh?
okay, just study these subjects and you are going to be a successful person, and
Right.
parents are also going to be satisfied, because the parents, they always have the fear that my child should be happy, successful, and earning a lot of money and all that.
Right.
Nobody has that guarantee. Nobody can guarantee. These career counselors, they also can't give you the guarantee to be a successful person.
Right.
They would only guide you. That up till now, I think we have been discussing about the medicine, engineering, law, but exactly. So after, just think, just once these child are going to job market after 10 years,
Yeah.
right? After completing those 12 years, the teachers, the school leaders, the parents, they are completely unaware that
Okay, since we're very short of time, so very quickly, what I need to ask is that, for example, you know, obviously, all of this was for me was a surprise when I got into it. You know, so I need to get my hands dirty. I need to get up again and do my things. Do you think that in near future we can expect universities to develop studies in a way where they're more flexible towards one or two or three other fields?
No, I think there is a point in time once you have opted for the professional degree, you have to be very, very focused. But till you reach that point, you should develop all those qualities and attributes in your personality that you are going to take up any challenge after that. As I have told you, that no degree is going to give you a guarantee to be a successful.
Exactly.
So you have to develop a lot of other skills.
Right.
Mostly the parents, they criticize schools that they engage the students in lot of activities and the academics is going to be suffered and all that. But it should go side by side.
Right.
These extracurricular activities are so important, because this is the forum when
health
the
of your
child
mind.
explores the potential and the talent.
Got your point. We're very short of time. Dr. Saiba, what's your point on this? That do you think that we need to prepare kids for, you know, a lot of different things, a lot of different skills, so that, you know, whatever comes to their way, you know,
They know how
can
to
actually
tackle.
Yes, I will also agree that they have to learn a lot of things for their survival.
Yeah.
But as a scientist, I will also say that we need some people to focus on some professions.
Yes.
We also need some specialists
Yeah.
for our country. We
Yes.
need some special things. We need some development.
Yeah.
So I will also say that it depends upon the talent of kids. So teacher and parents should know what their kid can do.
And it
So
varies
depend
from
upon-
different segments and, you know, different areas of education
Yeah.
or professionalism too as well. So Talha, one last thing. What do you want to do in life, and why do you think that you've opted for that now?
And
Since
just
you're
run us
changing
over with
career?
your future endeavors that you're on to.
Actually, I've listed about, you know, the famous poet Ishfaq Ahmed Saab.
Yep.
He quoted something like, two decisions you have to take in your life very wisely.
Yeah.
One, the profession you want to choose in your life, and the second one, the person you want to marry.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
we spend most of the time in our profession and the rest of the time with the person
At the
we
home,
marry.
right, right.
So
You
it was
try.
my passion from the it was my passion from the childhood that I wanted to become pilot.
Wow.
And inshallah, I'll be joining soon Pakistan Air
that's
Force
great.
as a general duty pilot.
Amazing, and all the best for your future endeavors.
But also,
Thank
you're a
you
very
much.
good speaker. I have
Yeah.
to tell you that at this point. You know, before we wrap up, I have a very, very small question
Sure,
from
go ahead.
from Miss Saira. I don't know how to put this, but since you're a teacher, you're also a parent. I'm pretty sure a lot of kids have been coming up to you for, you know, probably inspiration or things. So how do you turn them down? You know, of course, you know better than they do what their area of expertise is or what they're good at. So maybe if a kid comes up to you that this is my interest and this is what I want to do in the future, and you know that this is not what they should do, but they're innocent, you cannot shatter their dreams. How do you turn them down?
So we have to tell them some realities. you
Yeah,
know,
but
because,
how?
you know, so with the career counseling, we can tell them how they can proceed in the life, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages.
Right.
So now the kid can understand. So with the proper language
Okay.
and with the suitable words, you can guide them
And,
properly.
I'm sorry to confuse everybody out there after an hour's conversation, ladies and gentlemen, but you know, whenever you talk to kids, they tell you about a little bit of reality too, and,
Yeah.
and that
I would
includes
take it
Steve
up
Jobs,
on
that
you.
includes Mark Zuckerberg, that includes all these
These are
people.
exceptional examples. I would like to add, after completing 12 years of schooling, if a child is not clear that what he wants to be, at least he's clear that what he doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
He's very much
that's-
clear.
that's very
Exactly,
important.
exactly, that what I don't want to do. So just you have to gather all those thoughts and data.
Right.
Okay, he's not willing to go there. Then your role comes.
Amazing. Thank you very much for
Most,
being with us.
most-
Thank you very much. We're very short of time, but we'll definitely have you
Yes.
again on the
Again,
show
of
too
course,
as well. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. All the best for your future endeavors. And towards the end, ladies and gentlemen, there's only one thing which I would love to say, and that is that, you know, if you missed out on an opportunity, don't worry. All you have to do is start anywhere. That's
Yeah.
the rule, inverted commas, start anywhere.
It's never too late for
Yes,
anything.
exactly. That's what we all need to do. And other than starting anywhere, please make sure that you keep on attempting, you keep on reinventing, you
Yeah.
keep on coming up with better ideas. If the first one never worked, the second one will. If the third one never worked, the fourth one will.
There's
Don't
no
give
stopping.
up.
There's
Please
no
do write to
stopping.
us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of
Well this morning.
on Twitter,
Well this morning without a G.
on Daily Motion YouTube.
Well this morning.
And this fabulous repeat is going to be at
11:05 in the night.
till the next time. 1, 2, 3.
Good
morning.
morning.